going. Hold on.
Nice.
There we go. No commercials, no subscriptions, no network, no rules at the end of the day, my friends. No comparison. It's really the Good Parade election night special, but since it's under the Binnall of America thing now, I just put it under Binnall of America. Here's Vaeni. This is it. It's finally happened. The night we've been waiting. Yes.
Woo! You can see who I'm voting for.
Elizabeth Warren. Yeah,
That's right.
she won. She won tonight. You know.
Did she?
Yeah, she won. So she's gonna
the presidency
stay in the Senate for another 6 years. Yeah. So yeah, it's me. It's Vaeni. It's a haphazard live show. This is the first time we've done live with video going on YouTube. I didn't know what the hell I was doing already from the start. So we'll see how well this goes. And of course we have our buddy here always on the line, ready for. So any. Jesus Christ! All right, I just locked him back down. So that's Giles, the election center chimp, here tuning in, tuning in, also holding court with us as we cover this thing. I'm seeing now. All right, they're projecting Trump to win Texas. He's going to win South Dakota. Now, when I talked to you today earlier, you were like, you thought it was going to be a landslide. So right now it's, I don't know. Is this red wave?
Well, it kind of is a landslide when you think about it. I wasn't wrong about the landslide part. It's just the direction. Well, no, I think the swing states, I think they already know what the regular states are going to do. And so that's why Harrison Walz just toured the swing states over and over and over again. So, but I'm kind of hoping Ted Cruz loses. He probably won't, but that would be nice in Texas. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I would find it really odd if she doesn't win based on, like, they keep saying every demographic that's going blue. It's like little old ladies, like Puerto Ricans, white men are even, he's got a lead, but it's less of a lead than you would normally suspect. It's like the youth vote has come out, every freaking demographic. So I don't know. I do know this, that there were 2 bomb threats, I think in Pennsylvania, I could be wrong, that were called in from Russia. And if that happened to in like, black districts, and if that had happened to Trump, this thing would already be, in the courts as a thrown election. Yeah. So this is the kind of tomfoolery times we live in.
Well, yeah, and apparently the Russians are calling in bomb threats and shit. It's like we're really in the shit here, so I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, Tim.
I don't know.
What are we going to do? Yeah, go ahead.
So we should start out like, this is a fucking... This is the chaos that is the election night special. And of course, Binnall, our dear friend Vaeni, you heard from Giles. We've been doing this every 4 years. We're probably not going to go fucking till like even, we're going to maybe 90 minutes at best, because we're both kind of like worn out from this fucking election. And we kind of
worn out.
And we kind of just want to, it was Georgia and other places, Dr. Moore Lecture Tapes channel. So, Jesus. So, yeah, look, I can show this on the screen. There you go. I think it was Georgia with the bomb threats.
Georgia.
Yeah, well,
cool,
all right.
Thank you, yeah.
But I don't know. You're right. Right now it's looking kind of bad, but it always goes this way at the beginning because, as you said, the Republicans, they sweep up all these, like, Kentucky, Alabama, Dakotas. They sweep them up, and it's like, oh, all right, well, when we get California back, it'll be... It'll be like, ba-boom.
We're in the game, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
But so was North Carolina called?
North Carolina has not been called yet. That's too close. There's nothing of significance has happened yet.
Right.
There's been no big flips. There's been no big flops.
I like that with 0% in, they called Vermont for Harris. It's like, who cares? We know.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that. It's really weird.
Well, are you prepared to welcome back your Trump overlord in the event that happens?
I've tried to mentally prepare for this to be a possibility. I mean, it's you kind of have to. I advise everyone to do that, to have done that. To at least be prepared for the fact that this guy might win. What would surprise me is if he does win, quote unquote, like fair and square. Like I just don't see how that. I'm just surprised so many people are supporting him. Not even the policy wise, but just like he says such crazy fucking shit. I'm surprised anyone. I feel like his supporters' tolerance for crazy shit is off the fucking charts, dude. I don't get it. Like.
Right.
Coming out to the Undertaker music and doing a fucking goofy dance and talking about Armor Palmer's cock. It's like, but Jesus, I guess they like that. I don't know. I don't get it.
That's just Trump being real.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is the thing. Well, it's all racism and sexism. I mean, that's the short answer is racism, sexism, or else they wouldn't put up with that from, anyone else, from a non-white guy. But even in that context, it's like I saw just on MSNBC, they had some dude who was voting for Trump who was like, I wanted to vote for him, but I was kind of up in the air. But Kamala Harris didn't do Joe Rogan's podcast.
I saw that.
So yeah, and it's like, these are the things that concern white men, young white men, whether or not she does Joe Rogan's podcast. Black people are concerned when the bomb threats come in from Russia. And yet they're going to say that there's no systemic racism, there's no problem. Like this is the thing that gets me is the amount of people who are Trumpers who don't think or maybe don't know that voting for him is voting for racism and sexism, because they have the privilege to not actually be informed and to scoop up that disinformation bullshit that appeals to them. And that is the racism. It's not that you say the N-word. It's that you don't care enough about anyone but whatever it is that your little selfish thing is.
Right,
which really can't be anything, because he doesn't have policies except like kill foreigners. Like really, that's it. Put them in concentration camps. And guess what? You're next. Like you think he's going to stop with the colored people. Oh, you're wrong. He's coming for you too. So he doesn't like anyone unless you're a billionaire. This is the theocratic oligarchy is coming.
Yeah.
That's what we're stopping. It's not because somebody PM'd me on Facebook. I don't know how anyone follows me at all and is like, are you really voting for Harris? But he did. He PM'd me. Are you being serious about that? And like, yeah, dude. What is wrong with you? Like, do you not see what's going on? And then he has to turn it into a thing of like, personality, like, oh, you don't like Trump derangement syndrome or something, like you don't like his personality. God. It's like, no, dude, I'm protecting you. This is like the COVID mask. I'm protecting you from the theocratic oligarchy.
Exactly.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about. This is the problem. And
yeah,
we're told to just get out and vote, but we're not told to know anything about what we're voting for.
Yeah, Vaeni lives out on a farm in fucking Hawaii. He'd be perfectly fine not voting at all. I live in Massachusetts. My vote's kind of charitable as well. It's like, hey, look, I like to think I'm on the right side here. I could just step out and I would have no impact on the election whatsoever. So, it's funny. A lot of people talk about this. They're like, oh, you got to get rid of, I shouldn't do that voice because I'm agreeing. You got to get rid of the electoral college. And they're like, well, if they did that, then the candidates, they would just campaign in like all the big states and shit. It's like, as opposed to what? That they fucking only campaign in Pennsylvania and Michigan and Arizona and North Carolina. Like they've only campaigned in like 7 states since like July. So it's like they are just focusing on they're just focusing on these states where it's going to come down to 10,000 fucking people in some tiny fucking borough. It's like, this doesn't make any sense. If she wins the popular vote and he wins the electoral college, it'll be like the 3rd fucking time this century that has happened, where the Democrats have won the popular and lost the electoral college. It's like the system is bullshit, And the argument that like, oh, they're just gonna focus on a handful of states and not campaign to the rest of the country. It's like that's what they're fucking doing now, dude.
Right.
So that argument's
And
bullshit.
we're also forgetting the most important thing, which is like, what are the better SNL skits at this point? I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Trump's just, we've seen it all with this guy. I'm bored with the whole fucking thing. That's the other part.
it
I
is
don't get why.
fatiguing. It's like we've got to have existential crisis over a fat carrot who somehow gained sentience and has come alive to be like, like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and do fascism, when really we should be like doing existential crisis about global warming. Like, why do we? This is like such a sideshow that has taken over and become the existential threat. It's a distraction to end all distractions from the real things we should be caring about.
Right. And I should have done this at the very start of the show. I should have included a trigger warning to our MAGA friends that this is a totally biased pro Kamala Harris, Tim Walz program. So if someone stumbled into this being like, love Binnall, love Vaeni, can't wait to hear what they have to say about the election, go MAGA, they're probably like, oh, fuck you guys. I had that happen to me. I did it like a anti-Trump show back in February, and this guy who I've never heard from since, never heard from before, just pops into the Binnall of America Facebook page. I guess this show's all about fucking politics now. It's like, what? I'm like, bro, I didn't answer him. I'll answer you now, guy, if you're listening. I doubt it. The previous 5 shows were like Loch Ness Monster, Dog Man, fucking Bermuda Triangle, and aliens that fucking molest people. And then the subsequent 5 shows were the same type of topics. It's like, yeah, dude, yeah, we're pivoting to politics randomly, It's like, give me a fucking break. It was a conspiracy episode. Get over it. Jesus Christ. They're the snowflakes. They're the snowflakes, so we need to include a trigger warning to those people that we don't support your fucking cult and all that. So There you go.
Well, and I just had a dude on Facebook who used to listen to Paratopia, who's also like, really? Harris, really? And he's like saying, I'm calling him a Trumper, right? Because he's a Trumper. Yeah. And he's like, that's just your way of like quantifying me, man. And that's not very enlightened. It's very enlightened to blah, 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 blah. All this like gotcha enlightenment stuff. And I'm like, I don't think going after Nazis and fascism is the slam dunk against enlightenment that you think it is. But
yeah,
okay, dude. But I just find it really odd that anyone would A, follow me, but B, if they did, like, be shocked by my politics, or that I would have politics at all. Like, care. Why would I care? Right. I like, you should know by now. There's just a weird disconnect, because I think I talk about progressive shit all the time. So I don't know what the deal is.
And I will also, I have all these. This is the most thrown together episode, election night episode we've ever done. I may not, Vaeni might not slip up, but I may. And we have a reason for this. I do. And I know Vaeni does as well. I may accidentally say Kamala Harris instead of Kamala Harris.
Because of wrestling.
Yes. My reasoning for that is that Vaeni and we have 30 years of muscle memory training to pronounce the name as Kamala, because Kamala is the legendary wrestler. So I still do it from every now and again when I'm talking about it, because it's just like I have the muscle memory of Kamala. So
I honestly think before it caught on as an insult to say to her, I honestly think that's why Trump said it that way too.
I think it's why a lot of people say it that way. It's I've tried to.
No one wants to say it out loud, because to say it out loud is to be like, no, look, I'm not being racist. It just sounds like Kamala, the Ugandan headhunter.
No one wants.
That I used to watch all the time from pro wrestling.
Yes, yeah. No one wants to say. It's more. It's more shameful to admit that you pronounce the name because you're a wrestling fan than it is that you're racist. Like, I'd rather they think I'm racist.
But it is
than
racist.
No, I'm a wrestling fan.
Like, it's a racist character.
True. That's true. Yes,
that is handler Kim Chi from Parts Unknown, Weight Unknown. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. Yeah. Oh my god. So what do we got going on so far here on the map now? It's hard to keep track of all this shit because there's 8 million fucking sources of news.
I
Yeah.
don't have
Oh,
anything up, or my computer will
okay.
explode.
I've got a thing here. I know. All right. Let's bring in Giles real quick.
Oh Lord.
All right, an update here at 9:15 at night. Okay, so Trump's gotten all the fucking red states you expect. So and Kamala has gotten all the blue states. She's picked up New York. That's the big money winner. And Trump has picked up Texas. So it sounds horrifying, but Trump's at 154 and Harris is at 30. But they have been really slow to give Harris. Let me put it this way: the states that are surefire red ones, they're calling like right fucking away. Like they're going Tennessee, fucking West Virginia, Alabama, Arkansas. They're like boom, they already filled those in. And the ones that you kind of assume are going to be yellow that should be filling in, like they haven't filled in. Actually, they haven't filled in New York here on the CNN map, but like New Hampshire, they haven't filled that one in. Rhode Island, Maryland, New Jersey. You're telling me these aren't going to go blue? So, but they haven't. You know,
Right.
they don't seem to give her the layup ones, but they're giving Trump like, yeah, of course he's got Tennessee. What are you fucking crazy? But it's like
Right.
I'm pretty sure you could say the same about fucking Rhode Island. So I don't know why they don't do that.
Although Vancouver guy says Trump at 6% more of the popular vote right now. Harris has been slowly gaining. So
Yeah.
that's good to know. And We Have Fun says, are you voting against Trump because he shaved Vince McMahon's head?
Jesus.
And I wish I were. I wish it were that simple. But no, actually, after watching the Mr. McMahon Netflix documentary, I have to say, shaving Vince's head was the least of his concerns all along.
I
Have
think
you
it
seen
bears.
that?
No, I haven't watched it, but I've
No.
had a couple people say I should. But I'm like, I've seen it all before, but I don't know. Maybe I'll like it in this different package. I think it bears mentioning that our two most active participants in the chat and the people we've highlighted so far, Vancouver guy and We Have Fun. If you haven't discerned it yet, they're fucking Canadians.
Oh Jesus.
So the election night special, big with Canadians, big with Canadians.
And
So
also, what you're telling me is I should do the Canadian accent every time I read their tweets or whatever
that
this
would be
is.
that would be a good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I think because also one of the reasons why we're going to go probably like 90 minutes tonight, unless some crazy shit happens, is because UFO Sunset, she's in Vancouver, Washington, so we'll throw her on there. So we've got some Americans watching.
Are you sure
But
it's a she?
yes, UFO Sunset. Yeah, no, I
Okay.
know her. She's been on All of America. The what's interesting is, yeah, maybe all the Americans are like, I'm not watching that fucking shit. This is serious. This is
Right.
serious. Binnall and Vaeni and a fucking fake chimpanzee covering what might be the end of democracy. And so we're big with the Canadians.
My camera, my whole setup here is precariously perched on my much ample belly. So every time I laugh, you might throw up if you have an inner ear imbalance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rachel, UFO Sunset says, no, I'm in Portland. Okay. I knew you were in the Pacific Northwest. But Vancouver
Jesus,
guy,
how many states are you voting in?
we need all the help we can get right now, Vaeni. Come on.
That's true.
Jeez. I tried to register my rabbit this morning. Oh shit. All right. All right. We got some. I don't think it's a huge surprise, but let's go. All right, I got to cut him off. Fucking Donald Trump's won the state of Ohio. That's a pretty big one. That's not quite a swing state, but it's sort of like it's really turned red really in recent
Well, but that
years,
was the one where the big super poll that's supposed to be super accurate said she was winning by 3 points, right?
No. That was Iowa.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, screw Ohio. Who cares?
Ohio, Iowa, too close.
Eat a dick, Ohio. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. So anyway, it's still. I'm going to rely on folks in the chat too. If any chat folks, if you hear any news, throw it in there.
Freighter
we'll
Dynamus says fake chimp beats the other commentary I've been listening to, and I think he's talking about us.
Oh God! All right, Vancouver guy says that's Jeff Knox. Apparently, Jeff Knox. Harris had a lead in Ohio for most of the count and turned back to Trump a while ago. Now, what is going on with? What does that sound? Is that you, Vaeni?
That is our water pump going off. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
jeez. No,
Yeah.
that's fine. No. That
I
doesn't
am
need to be.
taking a dump right now as we live stream. So just
Yeah.
fair warning.
You know, people can see us, but yes, just. UFO Sunset says, looking at AP's report, and it looks like blue is winning in Iowa. So Iowa may turn blue, and that would be a huge help because we don't know.
USA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is how worried my wife Carol has been about this election. She has turned to YouTube psychics and tarot readers to get the upper hand. She's done with the polling. She's on to tarot readers who, unless they're like outwardly obviously Trumpers, are all pretty much like Harris is going to win. Or there was actually a woman, honestly, that before Harris was even in it, who was saying, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't see Biden. It was like she was saying, I don't see Biden going on, and there's something about youth on both sides. There's something about youth that's going to take over and be the story. And I thought it's interesting.
Hitler Youth?
Well, I mean, there was this young guy who tried to kill Trump, or Trump probably had that set up, or his people did, unbeknownst to him. That one's for you, Carol. She loves that theory. But also, Kamala Harris is younger, the new milquetoast Democrat, not the old school milquetoast Democrat.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting here too. I feel bad for people in Florida, dude. Their fucking state sounds awful. The abortion thing was shot down, so now they have a 6-week ban. So they upheld the ban on abortion, and they didn't pass the marijuana legalization either. You need 60% to pass these things in Florida. What the fuck is going on down there? Jesus.
Well, they're too busy shuttling off migrants to Martha's Vineyard to care about, I don't know, themselves. I mean, what is it with these people who are voting in for people and for policies that hurt them? This is what I don't get. They're hurting you. You think Ron DeSantis cares about you at all? I mean, Democrats at least have to fake it because that's like part of their thing. So on your worst day with a Democrat, you're going to get someone who's going to do like some mildly decent things for you. On your best day with a Republican, you're not going to be killed. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, how many people are like reliant on the government for the social safety net who also want to vote in the people that are like, we got to get rid of the social safety net? It's like, dude, you need that shit. Like, why are you voting against people who are going to like restrict food stamps and shit, man? Like, you use that stuff.
Right.
If you need it, that's fine. I'm not judging anybody. Use it. Get it if you can. Fucking, but if you use it and you vote for people that want to get rid of it, like, you're fucking crazy. So, I don't know. UFO Sunset says AP currently shows 99 votes blue, 177 red. The Western states, DC, Alaska, Hawaii aren't even showing up yet. So it's really early still. We need one of these backbreaker ones. We need a swing state to pop. Otherwise, I have a feeling it's going to be like last time, and we're going to fucking be sitting around here, and be like, fuck this.
Jack Brewer, who both lives in Florida, my apologies, and is not Canadian, says swing states looking scary, but it also looks like Harris leading in some states that were expected to be red. So, ...
I think he means Iowa there. Yeah. So, well, we'll see.
Jack, what happened to you? You couldn't get out 5 people to vote? You couldn't bring anyone with you to the polls, Jack? Florida, you couldn't have turned this thing, bring an alligator and a snake or something? The fuck's wrong with you? Don't you care about your country, about your state?
Like an alligator an alligator like in a trench coat with a hat.
Yes.
Well, the theory I've seen, it'll be interesting to see if it's borne out after tonight, is that like a lot of these, especially post-pandemic, during the pandemic, a lot of these MAGA people left places like Michigan and maybe even Iowa, and all over the place, and went down to Florida because it's like the MAGA state. And so if Trump is destroyed tonight in Florida, apparently that's what they're saying. Trump like crushed Florida, and it's like because all the MAGAs moved down there, which is good because then maybe fucking they won't have an advantage in the actual states where the votes matter.
Right. Except the a-holes that moved in next door. Those fucking people got to go. Trumpers.
In Hawaii?
Yeah. Can you believe that shit? Yeah, because of COVID, they were like part of that wave of people who were like, oh, I got to move to where there aren't people. And then I've got to terraform it to be a mini mall.
Yeah, next to your house.
That's right.
Jesus. Have you gone over and tried to extend the olive branch and befriend them? Reach across the aisle?
I almost made that mistake when they first moved in, but no. There will be no reaching across that aisle.
All right, hold on now. We got some insights from This is interesting. This is kind of why I love Twitter and hate Twitter, because I'm on here and it says Vote Hub, whatever, Vote Hub US. I'm going to just trust this as a thing. Atlanta suburban counties 2020 to 2024. So this one here, 6 points swings Democrat, 7 points swings Democrat, 4 points swings Democrat. So like it sounds like the suburbs in Atlanta or suburbs in Georgia are moving. You know, maybe Georgia's better and doing better than we might think, but this is feeling more like, I don't know what it feels like. It's is this like 2020 where we did the show and we were like, shit, this doesn't look like it's gonna work out, and then it turned out like Biden did win, but it took like 4 fucking days? Or is it gonna be like 2016 where we're like, oh shit, this has gone way worse than we thought it was gonna go, and they fucking declare Trump the winner like by the end of the night?
The first one.
I hope so. I just
Hey, why do you have go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just can't believe that they might elect him again. This is fucking
like, I can't believe that any state, honestly, even Kentucky, even Mississippi, even the really dumb ones, like, even the ones I do impressions of as stupid, I can't believe that they're as stupid as my impressions.
Yeah.
Why do you have Binnall and I have Jeremy? I know that this isn't the important part, but just on the screen, it's like you've got your last name, I've got my first name.
I always just go by Binnall. That's how everyone knows me.
Oh, they don't know that you're Tim?
They do, but they call me Binnall because I just
Timothy?
always went by Binnall. Only serious.
Are you like doing the Ricky Schroeder thing? Like I'm no longer Tim, I'm Timothy.
No, I think I just typed it in fast because if
I've matured.
Whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not like one of those people that would put like Anthony or Timothy or what, like change my name from my whole life.
Oh, here's a question for you that's of semi-relevance.
Yeah.
So you've been a man about the world. You've been going around the country doing various paranormal ufological conventions and the such.
Yeah.
And ufology has revealed itself to be notoriously right-wing for some odd reason. Do you see that when you're out there? Is it awkward now, like doing these tours? Do you feel like you're amongst the enemy, or are you okay? You're just drunk. You don't care.
I'm mostly just drunk. Yeah. No, I mean, no, it just depends on who you're hanging out with and shit. Like this weekend, I was down in Nashville for the Strange Realities Conference, and everybody there seemed pretty liberal for the most part. I'd say like, 90%, 80%, something like that, Yeah, no, I really try to keep it's ironically enough, because we're doing this show, I try to keep my politics out of it because I don't want to necessarily be disappointed in, you talk to some person at a Bigfoot festival and you're like, you talk, you enjoy their company and you like talking to them, or at a Mothman convention or whatever. And it's like, then you see on Facebook, they're like, we got to get Trump back in office or it's the end of civilization. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? So, you try not to fucking, I try not to get too deep into it. But,
hey.
Yeah.
If we get bored,
yeah,
We Have Fun has an idea. Says we need 2 lettuce leaves, one to represent each party, and see which one the bunny picks.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can we do that?
No.
Should I have read that in a Canadian accent?
Where'd you even see that? I don't see that one anywhere.
You got to pay attention to the people, Tim. We're about the people now. You
Well,
know this.
you're asking me questions about about deep sociological questions about Bigfoot festivals.
This is the
So,
important stuff, man. This is the show, baby.
I love. I'm gonna be such an asshole. I love people that have ideas that are like they don't think it through in a way where it's like, here's what you know what you should do. You should stop the show and fucking go find 2 lettuce leaves. Stop the live show and go get the fucking lettuce leaves and then put them in a place. Then move the camera so people can see the fucking rabbit. And then, okay, so we're deep into like 8 minutes of dead air and Vaeni having to talk. Then go get the fucking rabbit and put it down and fucking do that. Yes, if we get bored, that's definitely what we're going to fucking do. We're going to stop the show for fucking 10 minutes while I get all the necessary props for this fucking crazy scheme. I hear you, man.
We have fun, says, I just want to see the bunny.
Jesus Christ.
I just want to see the bunny, Tim.
Now, over on the over in the congressional side, Democrats now have 35 senators. Republicans have 46. They flipped one, I think, is the deal. And there we go. Updates. I'll keep it on that. Yeah, there's no clear choice. New York Times says yet. Harris picked up Illinois. I think that's a pretty heavy.
Oh, really?
Also. Yeah, that's a big one. So.
Yeah, I thought that was going for him. So great.
Yeah.
Another place I can visit if I ever need to.
Yeah, well.
I mean, that's what this comes down to, is just like picking the states that I can never go to versus the states that I might visit or have to flee to at some point in my life.
Well, dude, you already have flown. So what do you fled?
Well, you never know when the volcano's going to go off. Then you got to like pack up the wife and the ducks and the cats and fly to Illinois because there's no volcano there. You don't know.
No, dude. You don't understand. If he wins, this is like no man's land. If something happens in Hawaii, go west, young man. Go to fucking Japan. Go somewhere. Go to Asia. Don't come back to North America, dude. This is a hellhole. You're in the safe island zone, dude. You're the only thing bad that could happen to you is if a volcano goes off, because if Trump's the president, he's gonna be like, why are we sending anything to Hawaii? They didn't vote for me. Fuck them. It shouldn't even be a state. It's an island. It's not even connected to anything. So he'll cut you guys loose immediately. So that should be your main concern.
Well, it's 50-50 that people living here and would want that anyway. So that could work out. We got a big sovereignty movement.
Well, I wouldn't blame you, but I'm envisioning a world now where like volcanoes have gone off in fucking Hawaii, and all these people have to flee Hawaii and come to America, and fucking I could see him being like, we can't take in any more Hawaiians. Hawaiians. It's like, but they're fucking. That's like someone moving from fucking Colorado to Michigan. You can't do that, dude. But he'll do it. He'll be like, we can't absorb all of them coming back here. They want to stay on the island. You can't come in. We're gonna close the borders to the Hawaiians. I'm telling you, crazy times.
By the way, I tried to get our buddy Tyler, who lives in Arizona, to come on and do like updates from a swing state kind of thing, like a live updates thing. But he all of a sudden he said this week, like all these Trump, whatevers. I want to say flags, but they're posters. She started popping up in people's yards, and he was scared. And I was like, well, you can come on like with a scrim or like under a sheet, or something. But he wouldn't do it. So,
all right, I'm getting one. There's already some controversy here, so hold on. All right, this one Decision Desk HQ, which is pretty high level reliable, they're projecting Trump to take North Carolina, which is a massive swing state that's very critical in this whole thing. So that's not good. But then people in the comments are like, this is way too early to call. This is an over projection or whatever. So It's
It's really Pennsylvania that we're looking at, right? Like North Carolina, they were hoping at the last minute they could pull off maybe squeak out a victory. So I think that they had it planned that they wouldn't win North Carolina, but are just hoping to. So it's really like if Pennsylvania goes to Trump, we're screwed. This is what it comes down to, I think. But it would be good to get North Carolina for sure.
Yeah, no, it looks like now it's going around that they're giving North Carolina to him, dude. So this is getting tight, man. This is getting tight. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. So it's it's hard for me. Yeah, I don't know how much I can gauge on these things, but I'm seeing like, yeah, Trump's leading in a lot of states, a lot of critical important states. Virginia, Minnesota, Wisconsin, so far as the results come in. But, we got to have that blue wall hold, Vaeni. The blue wall's got to hold.
Yeah, if it doesn't hold, I'll have been wrong. And maybe slightly more important than that, democracy will be over. I don't know what to do with either of those things.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not going to be good, dude.
This will have been a first on both accounts in my lifetime. I can't believe this. What a time to be alive, Tim, huh?
All right, Jeff Knox, he says, I'd say Virginia and North Carolina are still too close to say, considering Harris is leading by more than this longer than Trump has been leading in those states. It's very close in both. All right, so, yeah, so this guy here says, I'm seeing North Carolina only at 58% return, and Trump's only winning by 100K. So, I know. I mean, take that, and always the paragon of insight. We have fun asks, do the Amish even vote?
Do they? I don't think so.
I'm sure they vote.
Never mind.
But they only vote in their Amish community.
My incest joke here, but go ahead, Tim. Yes?
I was just going to say they just vote there in the Amish community, and they don't actually like send them in. So, yeah. It's it sounds it's not looking great right now. I'll be honest.
Well, did we feel this way? This is what I don't remember. Did we feel this way in 2020? Like, was it this bad in 2020 or no? Does it always go this way? I don't remember.
We're on pace with the same level we were at in 2020. Nothing's changed since 2020. There's been no flip of a state yet. So
would it be hilarious if Biden was the guy?
I know.
We should have kept Biden. God damn it.
Oh, there'll be like whole arguments made that they should have kept Biden in and not run Kamala. But I mean, I thought this was a tremendous run on her part. I thought everything was hitting on all cylinders. So I'm really surprised to see her not doing so well. I mean, maybe I was in a bubble of my own. I'll be the first to admit it if that's the case. But I thought the momentum was really on her side, and the vibes were as well. So if she doesn't win, I'm going to be really, really surprised. Hold on. I'll be more surprised if Trump wins this time than in 2016. In 2016, I was really surprised, but I had kind of like figured that it could always happen. And this time around, I'm like, that's like an apocalyptic scenario. So I don't even consider. I really didn't think people would be stupid enough to fucking put in a fucking convicted felon and all that. There you go. Is this what you wanted to call out Jack for?
Yeah, but watching the NPR map, she can lose North Carolina, gain Pennsylvania, and still win. Yeah, but it's disappointingly close. But then Frater Didymus says North Carolina went to a Dem governor, if that indicates anything. It doesn't, for the simple fact that the governor, the candidate, was a black Nazi with an even weirder bunch of background than even that. And they may just want the white Nazi and not the fake black Nazi. They might be a little too sophisticated to fall for a black Nazi, but the white Nazi they might enjoy. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I think the nothing's changed yet. So, but I think it may end up coming down to fucking like Georgia and Pennsylvania. And I mean, I don't have much hope for her to win Arizona because that place is fucking crazy town. So, you know. But I mean, I
Zach
think this was.
Copley's. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It doesn't even matter. I just want to get my freaking impression out. I don't even know where Zach Copley's from, but I just wanted to say, Zach Copley says Berkeley is going to be devastated if Trump wounds. That's my Canadian accent. I just had to do it.
From near Berkeley, though, so
Hmm.
doesn't quite work. But I like it.
That's not really a Canadian accent either. But I enjoy talking like that to myself mostly.
There you go. All right. Jason Andrews says, "Thank you to the people in the chat. They're out chimping Giles tonight here. 30% returned in Pennsylvania. Harris 52.5%. So,
Nice.
I mean, I think we felt this way in 2020. You know, what's irritating is all the time they do this where they're like, oh, the state could, you know, Florida might be in play. Oh, this is the year. This is the year that Texas flips and North Carolina's right on the cusp. And it's like, it never fucking happens. And it's really irritating. It's so annoying. And like this thing with Iowa, right? The lady had the poll. Iowa, she was up. Where are we at on Iowa? Can someone in the chat check on Iowa? All right. Well, I pulled it up here. Let me see. Iowa. Harris is at 57%. Trump is at 42%. So
all right.
That's she could flip Iowa. So that would be a major flip. We need flips, man. We need flips.
Where's Giles to do a monkey flip?
He's fucking crazy, that Giles. I want to give a shout out to Chimps Are Champs Sanctuary in East Rutherford, New Jersey, for shipping Giles up here for the third or fourth time. It is so inhumane what they do, and I really appreciate it. You know, he showed up here this afternoon in a metal crate that stunk of chimp feces. I had to sign like 8 fucking different release forms. Thank you, PETA. And now here he is. He's over like in the corner. You can't see him. Legally, I cannot show him on the live stream because then I have to pay a whole bunch of extra money and I have to get, you know, more PETA stuff. But Giles is here. And, you know, Chimps Are Champs. Thank you. There's just no regulation. They don't know the way around.
Miramar Gustafson says, the only thing I hate more than hate America first fascists are Dems optimistic about potentially eking out a win over hate America first tech bro fascists. So basically, you hate both things. That's like hating the immovable force over the unstoppable object, or the unstoppable force over the immovable object, something like that. I don't know how you hate both of those things.
He hates everybody. He hates everybody, or except for the people like him who are too smart to not fall for either ruse. You know,
but he hates the Dems more. The only thing he hates more than fascist A is fascist B. This is like a math example from school. I don't like that. It makes me feel a little queasy.
Vancouver guy, I have no fucking idea how any of this works. Okay, so he asks, what is with this YouTube live chat? I barely see any of these comments you keep putting on. They're in, I don't know, man, they're in the YouTube chat, I guess. It's on the right-hand side of the screen.
The YouTube chat, or do you also have other chats that stream into
No, it's just YouTube. We're just streaming on YouTube. You got to turn on the side chat, Vancouver guy. See, this is all new to me doing one of these live shows. That's really all I want to do this special because
that's not all, Tim.
Both Giles, yeah, and Vaeni, and Tradition. And on the off chance that things would go horribly wrong like they are now, we would have a second sequel. We would have a document of of how all this went to shit. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I don't know. We need reason for optimism right now. That's kind of the main thrust of it. We need reason for optimism. So, you know, it's looking kind of hairy there.
Tim, what do you got going on in Binnall of America? I thought that might bring optimism. I don't know.
That's Well, we got a
You
good
love
show
talking about you.
next week. I do love talking about me. No, next week we're going back to the DB Cooper well, and we're gonna talk about DB Cooper with let me see here. You caught me off guard here. I'm tired and fucking Pat Boland. Pat Boland. Ahead of DB. I think it's next week, Pat Boland. Yeah. So we got good stuff lined up. We got good stuff. Taping some shows. It'll be good. It's time to start taping Christmas shows. I got to actually. Oh, so you never finished? Did I get distracted, or did you get distracted, or what happened with Tyler?
No, I finished that story.
Oh,
Tyler got scared and wouldn't show up
because of MAGA people. Like he would be.
At least
Yeah.
that's his excuse. Really, I think he just has friends in real life and wants to hang out with them more than us.
Yeah, a lot of people are having
But
watch parties tonight. So, and it's
this
I
is the
don't like.
worst thing to have a watch party about. I would not want to be at a political presidential watch party for like, will the country go fascist or will it hold? Like, nah, I don't want to be there if that goes south.
Yeah. Well, a lot of drinking, I'm sure. A lot of
tears and beers. No thanks.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. What if Trump wins? He'll have defeated a woman with his vice presidential candidate named Tim. So bad mojo for the Tims out there. Have you thought about that? Twice. So I've done it twice.
I haven't thought about that. Can you believe it?
Hillary and Tim Kaine,
Mhm.
Kamala, Tim Waltz.
Wow.
Gotta break the cycle.
Crap.
Well, we'll see how it goes. It's still early, and others are saying it's way too early to call North Carolina. Yeah.
So just one outfit called it?
Yeah, just one outfit.
Okay.
Okay, someone here says, "Oh, Trump is definitely overperforming his 2020 margins by like 5% or so, with non-college whites in counties that have been reported so far." So, non-college whites, you can make of that what you will. Non-college whites are 5% more in favor of Trump than last time around.
Now, how did non-college whites get to be such a massive voting bloc? Someone needs to explain this to me. There are a ton of other people in the country, but they're the biggest voting bloc. Non-college whites.
Yeah,
they couldn't be bothered to educate themselves, but they love to vote. Like, I don't understand. Or if they're in the event that they're so poor that they can't afford college, which is understandable, why are you voting for not the guy whose party wants to kill, getting rid of college debt? I don't understand this.
Uh-oh, Vaeni, take a look at that. Take a look at that one.
Farquhar says, New York Times prediction pooch gives Trump 70% chances of winning right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's you know what that is though? That's one of those things. You're not into sports, Vaeni, but like if you watch like any sporting game contest on like online with the analytics and shit, they'll show you like after 5 minutes, they'll be like, well, the New England Patriots have a 78% chance of winning because they kicked a field goal in the first 5 minutes. And, the algorithms say that's what this is their 78% chance. So I wouldn't even worry about that,
Well, and at this point, now that you've got this offshore betting against like presidents and every political position ever, who's to say that people at these newspapers aren't doing some inside, betting? You know what I mean? Like they're winning money on everyone now throwing their chips in for Trump.
Yeah. It's It's no, it's entirely possible. It's a lot of fucking shenanigans going on right now. These bomb threats are I don't have it in front of me now, but there was 4 states where they called in bomb threats, not just the ones we mentioned before. Like Wisconsin was another one where they fucking called in bomb threats. So
no surprise here, Tim. A lot of people in the chat are saying that that my accent is spot on. So
Well, yeah. You know,
Take that, Hinckley. Wasn't that the guy? What was his name?
who's Hinckley?
I don't know. Who was the comedian who did the Puerto Rico is a garbage dump?
Oh, he had some weird name like Hinchbottom or some fucking long ass.
Hinkle tits or something.
Yeah, it was like a three syllable fucking name that like a 4-part name that I,
Hinchcliffe.
There you go, Hinchcliffe, like Heathcliff the cat.
Hmm.
So, well, here you go, Farquhar. New York Times just downgraded Trump to 69% chance of victory. So,
Hi-yo.
There you go.
And all the voter bros high-fived.
Yeah, exactly. It's we need a flip or two here, man. That's the bottom line. It's getting nerve-wracking. I'm kind of glad I'm talking to you through all this, because if I was on Twitter, I'd be like terror scrolling. So and those are the ones like I just mentioned earlier, where someone's like in Callawalla, fucking Wisconsin, Biden carried it by 42 votes. And this year, Harris is only winning by 30. It's like, oh, fuck. Well, fucking, let me get my bleach and drink it. Like, I don't, this is, they're cherry picking the most frightening thing. Things aren't trending well in Wish-Wash, Virginia. So it's like, oh, great. Well, if things aren't trending, that could be a bellwether for the rest of the state. It's like, oh, fuck.
You saying that about drinking bleach just reminded me that, right, if he wins, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is going to be our health czar, and Elon Musk is going to be in charge of making more money for himself. I mean, the things that are going to go on, the shenanigans, the crimes,
the corruption. It's going to be an oligarchy.
It's going to be through the fucking roof. And meanwhile, Trump's just going to go play golf. Like, he doesn't care. I think he just wants to try to imprison. He wants to try to imprison people that he doesn't like, and then go play golf.
Giles is coming in. Trump has won the state of Kansas. Oh, big surprise there. It's another one of those that don't fucking, that don't really count. Not like our states count either at this point. So, it's down to like 7 fucking states to run the whole country. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I'd be interested. Does anyone have a count on the actual like total votes, like the total popular vote count so far for the two of them? Like every place total added up in America so far? Can anyone get me that? Giles, Vancouver guy, Farquhar. Anyone who knows how to use a computer? Can we get a total count? A total anywhere? Is anyone keeping track of that? I don't know. So I'll keep an eye on the chat if anyone. But on a more important note, Berkeley's my hometown. Zach Colby says. See, wasn't making a snide comment, by the way. Oh, here we go.
Better late than never, Zach.
All right, here we go. UFO sunset brings the goods. Where is it? Show it. All right. Blue 32 million. Red 37 million. So they're even losing the fucking popular vote. This is not good. This is fucking crazy.
Oh, come on, Tim. This is not California. This is an amalgamation of people who say where like we would have nouns, verbs, and adjectives.
That's true. That's an astute observation. Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, we haven't seen it all come in. We haven't seen it all come in yet. It's let me see. Yeah, like New York says 46% of the votes are in, and Kamala Harris has it. But it's like, that's 46%. If she has 2.5 million, so as it keeps going, she'll pick up another million over Trump. So it's like she'll close the gap. She should. Ah, man. You were so confident earlier too, you son of a fucking bitch. I was confident.
You're taking me down. I would still be completely confident right now if I wasn't doing the show.
Oh my God. You say that, but I would be terrified to turn on MSNBC right now. I'm afraid they're fucking like freaking out. So You know?
Yeah, of all the media outlets, they're the ones that have to pretend like isn't democracy great? Like, what are these reporters going to do if he gets in? Move, like, flee?
Yeah, pretty much. You know. Oh Christ. Well, it's stressful, man. This is stressful. You know. I don't
Yeah,
understand. I just don't get it. I
thank
just
God I
don't
live
get
in
it.
paradise. I mean,
Like
if nothing else, I can just go right back to bragging. Take me in, Tim. Take me
no, take me in. I'm
all
fleeing the country. I can feed a chicken. I was gonna say we all know why.
in.
We all know why Tyler fucking won't come on the show because he runs in the fucking underground golf ball
That's
fucking
true.
world. That's
Yeah, he's already
MAGA.
said too much. Yeah,
That's
and
big
if we
time.
could put a face to it,
That's
he'd be
big
caught.
time MAGA. That's big time. He can't piss off the golf balls used golf ball syndicate. He'll
It's
he'll,
true.
he'll fucking that's his whole source of ice cream income. That's
Did
where
he
he
tell
gets
us
his
about that the last election, or when did he tell us about that?
on the Christmas special.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right. That's what made me think of it because I got to get you and him back on. We got to do another Christmas special this year for sure because that was so much fun last year. And that's when we got to get an update on his foray into underground golf ball distribution. So,
Hmm.
oh my god.
Jason Andrews says, "I'm not sure which worries me more: Trump winning or Trump losing." Eh? And I will tell you what you feel. It worries you more if Trump wins, because if he loses, nothing's going to happen, because the authorities are ready for him. But also, remember when he was going to trial in New York and he was like calling on people to come riot for him and nobody showed up? I think it's going to go down like that. Like, no one wants to go to jail for this guy.
Yeah.
I also think like they've already floated that, on the one hand, Trump is constantly floating that they're stealing it from me before the election even starts. But on the other, they've also been floating the fact, Charlie Kirk and company, that they don't have enough people showing up day of, and please get out there and vote. So I think, and they know that since the Madison Square Garden event, things haven't quite gone their way. So in terms of public opinion. So I think even a lot of the MAGA people would be prepared to believe that this election was not stolen, but in fact, he lost it in the final weeks.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it's not like razor thin, which is looking like it's going to be razor thin. So that'll give them the impetus to be like, oh, like look at how in despair we are right now when it's only like 10 o'clock at night and the fucking, the election just ended. It hasn't even ended everywhere yet. So it's like, who the fuck knows what's going to happen? We should relax. We need to bring it down a notch and, not worry. But you're right. The reason why we worry is because, like, uh, yeah, if Trump loses, things will get to stay the same pretty much. If he wins, it's going to be fucking chaos. And as you said, like it's going to be like a super villain fucking conglomerate of like Elon Musk and fucking RFK and dipshit Don Jr. and shit. I'm sick of all these characters, dude. I don't want to watch them again for another 4 years.
Now I feel bad. Jason says, I'm surrounded by the Red Army and they're insane. I don't know. Well, yeah, you're fucked, but people at large will be fine. You just stay in your house just for a little while, for months. I hope you have toilet paper. And by the
Maybe.
way, honestly, I'm sorry that you were surrounded by the Red Army. That sounds like shit. I would hate to. I mean, I've got crappy neighbors, but I can take them in a fight. So
Yeah.
I don't want to have to. I don't want to. I don't want it to come to fisticuffs, Tim.
Bruce says that there's less traffic on the road right now than on Christmas morning. Well,
Huh.
I'd watch out. It's only 10 o'clock at night. I wouldn't want to be out on the road at fucking like 10, like midnight or 1 o'clock because there's going to be a lot of drunk people on the road then. Win, lose, or draw.
This was my fisticuffs, by the way. I had my hands way up here. Probably not the best defensive positioning for the hands. Just throwing that out there in case anyone's paying attention.
I think you do all right. Yeah.
Yeah, you think that's like the monkey. Ah!
There you go. There you go. Well, we're coming up on 9:59, so we should get some more numbers coming in a moment. You know,
And I see your true numbers shining through. No.
See, the problem is, like I'm looking here at Virginia, which is usually a reliable Democrat, like it says likely D, and Trump. It says Trump's winning right now by 1.8%. That's 60. So with 2/3 of the thing are in, and it's like, all right, well, if he flips Virginia, we're in a lot of trouble. So it's like, oh, geez, excuse me, the places we really. This is looking like 2016, where it was like, oh wow, this is kind of a surprising. Like that's too early. There's only 2% in on that one. Like he's up 1.6, something like that, 1.5 in Wisconsin right now with 35% in, and it's like we need all those states. So it's a little fucking, it's a little hairy, man.
I don't know. If we get Illinois,
we have.
You know what they say? So goes the union. No.
Is that true?
Nope. Nothing I have said tonight has been true, by the way. Just disclaimer.
Yeah. No. No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that chat died, huh? It's like they all started to feel bad for Jason.
I know.
God, big fucking buzzkill.
I'm surrounded by the Red Army. Listen, guy. Uh-oh. We got another one here. The hours changed, so see, these are like layup ones. Trump has won Utah. Like, so what? Trump has won Montana. Like, it's just, again, it's coming down to the ones that it's going to come down to these like 7 fucking states. This is
wait, Trump won where Mormons reproduce blonde people constantly. Oh, what a shock.
Yeah. So, oh man. Well, it's still too early. I just don't remember being this worried when Biden won, even though the map looks exactly the same pretty much. So I don't know. I don't know. Bruce here says, let me see. Remember that the mail-in ballots get counted after the fact. So some of those close margin states where Trump is up from people voting it in the booth. Yes. So.
But where are you talking about? Because I thought like a lot of the early states, the reason the vote was coming in was because they had already counted the early vote, and we were and that.
Yeah, I'm confused by which states count the early vote, which states count the late, count it first, and which states count it late. Like the reason they know Florida is because Florida has to have it all counted by a certain, like right by the time an hour or two after the polls close. All the early vote has to be counted by then. But in Pennsylvania, it's like they can't count them until after or some shit. Yeah. Election workers are not allowed to start processing mail ballots until election day. So it's like it's all these states are all fucked up with their thing.
What happens if she wins the electoral and he wins the popular?
Then the Republicans demand that the Electoral College be banished forever. And we might actually get it done because she'll be the president and they'll be like, it's not fair. This time, because it happened to us. It's not fair this time. So we have to. They'd probably be like, ignore it and be like, he's the rightful president because he won the popular vote, even though he lost the popular vote like in 20. They'd be like, that doesn't matter now. So they changed the rules.
Vancouver guy says most states can't even count. Oh wait, the early vote until tomorrow. Never mind.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. This is why it's called the blue wave. I don't know.
Why? Wait, why?
Yeah, why?
Because you waved bye-bye to your win? What?
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. I'm just really surprised because I thought everybody else was as sick of this fucking guy as I was. Like, Jesus Christ, how long are we going to fucking put up with this shit? Or just deal with this. He says Democrats tend to vote by mail or ballot drop box.
Yeah, but again, I guess unless I just tuned it out and Tim said it and then I was daydreaming, I thought in a lot of these states they've already counted the mail-in and the early voting stuff. I guess not all states. I guess that's what it is. Not all states.
Yeah, some states count it like a certain time, and other states have it done by a certain time. It's a confusing system. This whole thing is fucking confusing. You know, it's yeah, it's very we'll see. We'll see. Should we try see if anyone wants to come on with us quickly before to spice up the proceedings? Is there anyone who wants to come on the fucking thing in the chat? You got to DM me on Twitter, so we'll give it a shot.
God, that's hard. That's a lot.
What do you mean it's a lot?
You know what I mean? Like that's a lot to remember. Like, oh wait, I got to DM you where? I got to do what? That's a lot of maneuvering to just come on here.
I can't just put it in the thing. Then the fucking chat will be over. Then all kinds of people will try and get on the thing.
Isn't that more fun?
Oh my god. Well, if anyone in the chat wants to come on the thing, say it, and I'm friends with most of you on the fucking thing, so I'll send you a DM or whatever. We could get Brewer in, but I don't think he's watching anymore. But yeah,
I'm gonna go now, guys. I've got a game to watch.
Jack's more politically savvy than probably even me, so he's probably he's probably pretty stressed out right now, I imagine. It's
I don't know. He doesn't show signs. Maybe it's of stress. I wonder if he's just used to it. Like not even just politically, but like anytime there's like a death-defying hurricane or something coming through, he's like, "We're gonna be fine, everyone. Just hunker down." You know what I mean? Like, get your pizza ready. He's just like he seems okay with everything. I don't understand. He's got a Zen calm about him.
That's what I like about him. He's the man. Listen to this. So this is a real report from Yamiche Alcindor. She's a Washington correspondent for NBC News. She says this must be exit polls. Voters who say they decided their vote for president in the closing days of the campaign broke slightly in Trump's favor, according to NBC News exit poll. Overall, 7% of voters reported deciding in the last week. An additional 6% reported deciding in October. Voters who say they decided during the final week tilted slightly for Trump, 49% to 42%. So, I mean, I don't know what the fuck that even says about anything, man.
God, they're like, I'm really loving what I'm seeing here. I wasn't sure about Trump before he started doing the shoot people in the face routine and the filleting the microphone, but now
I think they just don't see all this shit. I really
he's my president.
I think that we're just really online. I think, you know, I almost hate to say it, and it's probably what they want, but if he wins, I think I'm just going to check out of following politics altogether. I'm just going to be like, I think I'm just going to garden now and not fucking worry about this until, you know, I don't know, till they come to take me away. It's like, it's really dispiriting.
Yep.
Here we go. Here's the insights. Vaeni, why don't you read that?
12 stutes lose a Lou Cooning to begin before election day, eh? Yeah.
It's getting sloppy now. No one can even understand that.
What?
That's
I can't help what the Canadians are like, dude. It's not my country.
Yeah. It says 12 states laws allow counting to begin before election day. So, yeah. Steve Long has a lot to say about the Electoral College. He says it's a great system of checks and balances, which protects the minority voice, but people prefer to nix complicated no matter what. Like, can't we just vote by Twitter poll? Vaeni, your thoughts? Oh, all right. Hold on now. Yeah. Vaeni, weigh in on that.
I don't know. Why can't we just vote by Twitter poll? Oh, because that would be rigged. What's the great system of checks and balances which protects minority voices? What, you're talking about the electoral system? Like, I don't think anyone, except for rural people in sparsely populated states, want the electoral college system. The places where people actually live, that's not a great system of checks and balances. That's like something that is just arcane, outdated procedure, I think. Am I even arguing with somebody, or is he not saying that?
He's saying that the Electoral College is a good thing because it allows for people to.
Oh, well, then I'm right. What I said is right. So take that, Steve Long.
All right,
So long, Steve Long.
Hold on to your hat because Jesus. All right. Anyway, hold on here. We got a special guest. Let's bring him in. There he is.
Oh, hi-oh.
The Brew Dog.
Hola.
He's wearing a Rolling Stones shirt. Hopefully for good luck, I bet.
I am. Aloha, Vaeni.
Aloha, Jack Brewer. How are things in Florida?
Just watching a game, but thought I'd take some time.
So why are you so calm in both hurricanes and fascism encroaching on your freedoms? How do you do it?
I don't know. Just watch the breath. The hurricane thing, I'm an inland county, so it's a little easier to be calm when you don't have a wall of rain and wind hitting you at 130 miles an hour,
Right. By the way, you look about 25. I got to get one of those blur filters. That's really doing its job.
Well, Jack, I know personally, I know for sure, because we talk all the time, that you've been following this fucking thing, every day like I have. So what's your, are you as surprised as I am tonight that the support for Trump is so strong? I really thought that people were as tired of his shtick as I have been for a while.
It's very disappointing, yes. I think you made a good point a couple minutes ago that I think there's a high percentage of people that aren't aware of all of the antics to the extent that some of us may be, that spend a lot of time on social media, or that we follow the journalists that spend a lot of time, that it's just their job to keep
Rupar and that ACYN guy, those guys, that run the clips all the time.
And it's just their job to keep a camera on these candidates and let you know what they're doing. I don't know though, Jeremy. I think for me, and I was telling Tim this the last day or so, that for me at this point, it kind of already happened. Like, however this vote goes, it's a reflection of what did and didn't happen the last 4 years and since January 6th. And so while I have a lot of disappointment in the supporters of Trump, I don't let the left completely off the hook either, that things have not been done that do anything about an insurrectionist running for president.
Yeah.
So, however the votes get tallied at this point, to me, it all already happened. I mean, what can you say?
Well, but then that says like something worse can't happen when he takes office. I guess that's my problem, is like nothing that you have said here is false, but it can get worse. I can't be resigned to like, well, it already happened, because like if Project 2025 becomes the law of the land,
I agree completely with that. I just don't know what a reasonable person can do at this point that's not a senator, that's not a president, that's not a vice president. I don't know. I don't know what door knockers could do more than what they did,
This is where I'm like, the answer, Jack, is you cry. But you don't seem to be much of a crier, and I don't understand that.
Well, not on Zoom,
So UFO Sense said, she says, so Trump's up by 5 million in the popular vote right now. But when you look at that, that is daunting. But then it's like his whole shtick when he lost last time was like he had 70 million votes and he lost to Biden, who had 80 or something. So it's like we're only at the halfway mark at this point anyway. So,
Yeah, what's disturbing to me is I was hoping for much better results in Florida, in Georgia, in
yeah,
North Carolina, because now as we look at the potential count for the electoral votes, even taking Pennsylvania and Michigan, hopefully Minnesota, Wisconsin, it's getting increasingly difficult to see a path for Vice President Harris. And what I'm kind of trying to communicate to Jeremy with the already happened thing, I'm kind of mad and disappointed either way. Like even if she had won by a landslide, I don't feel celebratory about a system that's putting me in a position that I'm supposed to be thankful that I kept my inalienable rights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's
No,
like,
I agree with that.
yeah,
For sure.
it's like, thank God we just squeaked by. Yay. It's like, we shouldn't
In
have
fact,
to even worry
I mean,
about it.
the Democrats have a hand in all of this, going back to like, how does a Trump even come to power in the first place? And it goes back to the WWE days of like, Republicans will be the bad cop and they will take everything from you, and Democrats, will be the good cop and give you some crumbs, but they both work for the same big businesses, and it's like, anytime, a progressive voice or something else would step forward, like a Bernie Sanders or even an AOC, even the Democrats would do their best to destroy them, or at least silence them, to keep this system going. And it's like, yeah, this is how, if you move the left to the right has no choice but to go further right until you hit crazy town. And then if you have a guy who is like Trump, who for some reason is charismatic enough to normalize that and make it popular, then you've just screwed the entire country. So yeah, I mean, but at this point, I will take the crumbs. But not even for me. Like, I really feel like it to my crazy mind, right? Like, I understand that I am in the minority with this, but I really think like global warming is going to produce a new ice age. And who do we want to be in that moment? Do we want to be the people who come together, or do we want to be the people who form militias and fight each other for resources? And so I think like getting into a mind space for that is to my silly mind is what's important, because I already think like this system has collapsed. Like, in a sense, that's kind of what you're getting to, is like, the system has already collapsed, folks. It's over. But it's like, okay, but I would rather we chug along and the people who are worse off than I am in life, financially and otherwise, have a shot at not total misery, because there's also a bigger existential crisis coming that I believe. So,
well, since I've known Jeremy, he's been one of those bigger picture people. He looks at the wider frame. And yeah, what I'm hearing there, Jeremy, is we all matter or none of us matter. And if a person doesn't really believe that, the way you guys started the show, if you don't really experientially know that he's not just coming for the people of color, that a fascist isn't just against everybody but me. If you don't experientially understand that and believe it, I don't even know what to say. Like, until we get that as a culture, state, nation, globe, there's just always going to be another wrench in the gears until we can get that kind of thing straightened out. But yeah, and back to the finer point, you have to keep trying to negotiate for better. Like, you can't throw the Dems under the bus because you don't like some foreign policy or something, when the alternative choice is a complete foreign policy debacle, and there is no opportunity to even negotiate for better with the fascist regime.
Right.
And so you like you could, I mean, people do just not vote in protest or something along those lines. That, I mean, we've all just got to answer to ourselves in the mirror in the end. And as Tim and I have talked about, if I live in a nation that people would rather have a racist white supremacist in power because those voters feel more like there's a demographic of people that equality makes them feel oppressed.
Yeah.
And so, if I just live in a nation that there's more white people like that than not, I guess I just got to shrug and decide what choices that leaves me. And as Jeremy aptly has pointed out, there are increasingly large demographics of people that don't even have that privilege and luxury. They're just the screwed ones that don't even get a chance to regroup and decide what to do.
So, being that, how do you survive Florida? Like, do you have friends? What do you do?
That's an interesting question. I would like to hear, just for my own personal interest from other people on that too. And like my friend Erica Lukes is in Utah. That's a very we used to maybe could say conservative. Now who knows what that term even means, state. One thing I can tell you, Jeremy, is in my day-to-day life, I don't see it. Like when I walk outside my house and look around, I don't really see it. Not like maybe a person of color or people that are more oppressed would. If I'm going to Whole Foods, if I'm got to go to the post office, I don't see that I have a right-wing governor in DeSantis that has all kinds of gerrymandering and increasingly unreasonable things in place, problems with abortion access and health care for women and mistreating people of color and all of that. I don't see that as I'm just going to the store, So in my day-to-day life, I don't really see it. Where it starts to come home are things like there's no access to reasonable homeowners insurance. And like part of that is, or it's costly. And like part of that is because of corruption that led to the collapse of the industry after hurricanes, that nobody got their claims paid and things like that. So the short answer would be, just on a day-to-day basis, I'm not like walking around getting chased by fascists or anything like that. Yeah, it's like you can't see it from my house kind of thing. And I'm willing to acknowledge some of the privilege in that. I'm older, I'm white. Are younger people of color having that same type of experience in Florida? I seriously doubt it.
Yeah. Well, it's it's getting stressful. I mean, for those who put any credence in the New York Times fucking wire thing, now they're up to 81% for Trump. So it's the mood of my Twitter feed, which is a lot of lefties, is sort of like fucking despair and bewilderment. So, which is kind of the way I'm feeling. I'm just like, I just didn't think this guy was nearly as popular as I thought. And like you were saying, Jack, it's kind of like, because they're saying on here, like, he has a chance to win the popular vote too. And if it's like, if he wins the popular vote and the electoral college, it's like, guess this is who the fucking country wants to be their leader. They want this fucking, this agenda, this insane agenda of like mass mass deportations and these extremist ideas. And so it's like, well, I guess fucking we're gonna see what happens, man, because that seems to me like a really bad fucking idea. And
and maybe it's still too early to call, but yeah, the point still stands that it's disturbing to be put in a position that those human rights and inalienable rights you're now fighting for, that the whole thing is the breakdown in public education, and that people don't know history and what happened before. And I mean, it's all just right there before us, the consequences of 4 years and decades of choices that as a collective culture put us where we are now.
Yeah, my problem is, I mean, that, I've heard that from liberals since Reagan, of like, if we could just educate them, I'm to the point of like, no, they like what they're hearing. They don't want to be educated. They want to be in the Fox News bubble, being told the things that amp up their fear and whatever. Like, they like the racism. they like it. It's just, it gives, because I think ultimately something like that gives you, even, no matter how poor you are, or how out of control you feel in your life, you want to have a sense of power over somebody. And so, that affords you the fantasy ability to have that, because it used to be, right, that like, it seemed to me anyway, that the right wing was all about looking up to these rich people who said, you can be me someday. And then that never really came to fruition. And instead of having a moment of reflection of like, wow, maybe I'm being had here, they went for the guy who's like, you can just be a bully like me. Like, you'll never be a billionaire like me, but I'm just like you. I reflect the things you feel inside, and we can go and just beat people up, that sort of attitude, which, on its best day, it just is reflected, through owning the libs, but on its worst day is actually, rioting and killing people and, bomb threats and this sort of thing. So I don't know. I feel like you can, because I'm sure we've all seen the interviews, right? Where you talk to one of these Trump people and you say something logical to them or about their own like policy decisions. And there's not a moment of like, oh my God, you're right. Like, holy shit. It's always like, there's like a glitch in the system and then defensiveness because they're angry to begin with over perceived harms that may or may not even be real. I think they're just inheriting them from the leader. They're just taking on Trump's bullshit and they don't even know it. So I feel like that culty thing is like even harder than just like education,
Well, I don't want to.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to let Steve Long chime in because I got a message from Go Rightly, Jack. He says, we're sounding pretty pessimistic right now. He thinks it's way too early to crown any champions. So Go Rightly hasn't given up hope yet. Steve Long is kind of echoing that. Maybe I'm missing something. This is exactly what was predicted to happen. Red winning until blue vote areas catch up, just like 2020. I mean, maybe that's the case because if you watch, we're not watching fucking like Steve Kornacki, who does like the granular shit where he's like, we're still waiting for these different districts to come in. And this is not even remotely, but I mean, we're going on the information we have. And like I said, every
although Carol Fong, who is watching MSNBC, says they've called Iowa for Trump.
There you go. So they couldn't flip Iowa.
But my point is like, even if we win, it's still, like you said, disappointing because it's so many people we didn't expect. You just expect normalcy and people to be sick of this shit, and they're not.
Thank you. That's my point. I mean, I've said at least twice since you were generous enough to invite me on that it's too early to call. We don't know, but my point absolutely, Jeremy, still stands that am I supposed to like have a toast that I snatched my Bill of Rights back from the fascists? You know? No, I'm not. I'm not happy about that, not in the least. And that it's this close. And as you're saying, there are clearly this many people that identify with the rhetoric and don't have a problem with it. Yeah, that I mean, I'm flattered that you perceive me as someone that stays calm and all, but yeah, frankly, that disgusts me, man. That just disgusts me. The whole thought of it.
Tim, are you in your underwear? Where'd you go?
No, I'm in my jammies though. I'm in my pajamas. I had to. I have to fucking. I really
Piss in a bottle? What are you doing?
I'm not supposed to be drinking. Yes, exactly. Yeah. We need some kind of mojo change. I mean, look, we may be fucking typical Democrats and living in fucking despair like we always do and go, oh shit, fucking everything's, and this could turn around over the next hour. I mean, it's only fucking 10:30. And they might fucking be like, you know, okay, now Harris just got all these states and it's fucking, it's coming, it's going to come down to like 2 or 3 states at this point. I guess that's where the despair comes from. As somebody was pointing out that in the chat, oh, here it is. Vancouver guy says, I think some people just expected such a Harris landslide that you're confused things are as happening as normal. I guess, but I mean, it seems to be the overarching opinion of a lot of people that this is definitely way below what we thought it was going to be.
Well, it's also a problem. Go ahead, Jack.
What I was looking at was the electoral college states. And on NPR, they have 3 columns. They have the ones that they expected to go blue, the ones they expected to go red, and in the middle, they have the swing states. And at some point, as they keep falling red, yeah, it's just a matter of math. Show me the 270 votes and I'll be happy to be optimistic. But like again, I'll emphasize, I'm no, election expert, don't claim to be. I don't have any idea what's about to happen. Maybe she's going to win. And yeah, I'm still upset and angered about the state of affairs in general, that people would so quickly strip others of their rights and their humanity under the guise of, as long as it's not the people that look like me, it's probably cool. I'm just not cool with that at all, fellas.
And that's not even just a white person problem, because, and I will disclaim that you guys are not saying this, I am, but I have this problem with the Puerto Ricans who are, after being made fun of, were all of a sudden like, what? We've got to get this guy, we got to make sure he doesn't get into office because I have pride. It's like, well, where was your pride before the racist jokes and comments? Like, where was your urgency to stomp out fascism? It's just because, again, now it's applying to you. Now you see the writing on the wall for you. Oh, he did mean you. Like that immaturity of, well, I guess is that an American phenomenon of just like the selfishness, right? Because, I mean, we're on a thing called YouTube. So everything is geared toward I, me, mine. And if you've got a guy who isn't directing his evil gaze at you, are you like, well, then that's not me, until it is. And so you can just not have concern or empathy for other people. Is that just like an American thing?
I don't know. It's probably a human thing, sadly. That's why we don't get along. It's why we've always been fighting wars and shit, religious wars. And we break up into these little sub factions based on different things. It's like, there's no global unity of anything.
But the other scary thing is just like this, if this many people are this gung ho for, and again, not just like even if they're ignorant of the fascism thing, they don't believe he's fascist, and they think we're overblowing that. The things that he has said and done over the past weeks, if that hasn't given anyone pause, and yet Biden had to hit the road because he stutters through being tired, and that looks like dementia. Or maybe it is dementia. I don't know. But Trump also looks like he has dementia, and nobody seems to care. And even when the pundits call it out and say, hey, it looks like he's acting the same way, and nobody seems to care, they still don't really seem to care. They just sort of note it and move on. He just gets away with everything. And if there's this many people willing to do that for him, even if he doesn't win, who's the next charismatic guy that is going to be smart enough and coherent enough to pull it off? That's my other fear in this, I guess.
Yeah, and that's where I do lay blame on the elected officials, the Department of Justice, the powers that be, that didn't protect those situations better than they did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say this. Now I'm looking. Yeah, there is a lot of despair here in the chat and everywhere else. But we're coming up on the 11 o'clock hour, and that'll when they flip over these western states. And if you just go down the Pacific side, which are almost assuredly blue, that's like 20 and 74. If you add that to Harris, then she'll have 186 to Trump's 198. He'll probably pick up a fucking Idaho in there, so he'll probably pick up like 6. But she'll completely tighten the fucking, close the gap with the Pacific side. So the people who are saying we're very pessimistic, they're absolutely right, because the numbers right now are completely lopsided because, it's a coastal kind of thing. So we'll see.
And I can guarantee you that if she wins, I'm just going to be arrogant and pretend that I knew it all along and that this conversation never happened. So look forward to that.
Boy, we dodged a bullet there. We dodged a bullet there, man. Wow.
I won't even. I'll just be like, yeah, that didn't. No, of course, I knew it all along. I got to get going soon here, but I wanted to. Can I derail the political conversation for 1 second and just ask you both? Did you see the Linda Napolitano, Carol Rainey, Old Woman versus Old Woman Alien Abduction Fest Netflix documentary, or no?
I have not seen it. I'm interested in seeing it now that it's proven to be so controversial with a lawsuit and everything. And I feel bad for Carol Rainey's family for having to get mixed up in this, but at the same time, I kind of love it because Carol Rainey was a little spitfire. So it's kind of like she went out on this world with a great fuck you. And It's like, she doesn't have to. She's like, from what I understand, so like this lady's pissed enough to file a lawsuit. So it's like clearly Carol Rainey shot down this story or whatever, and then she passed away, and it was like and that kind of was in keeping with Carol, from the Carol I knew, that she was just kind of like threw caution to the wind there at the end and was willing to upset the apple cart. So it was like, oh, God bless you, Carol Rainey. Right on the way out, you fucking you gave him a big go to hell. And so I guess I like it for that reason. But I haven't really seen it, or I don't know anything about it except this lady's suing Netflix over it.
Yeah, and the estate of Carol Rainey. And I find it, and so is Peter Robbins, by the way. I think he's in on that lawsuit.
I don't know if he's in a lawsuit, but yeah, I know he's in the special, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think he's in the lawsuit, too, for defamation or something. But the thing I find odd about it is, because I did watch it, is that, I think they did the best they could to keep it to the narrative of she said versus she said, because there were a lot of things they could have put in there that would have absolutely tanked the notion that this was anything but a hoax, and they didn't. So I don't know why she's suing. She actually looks better than she should in this, I think. Jack has now mummified himself in his.
Can you hear me?
Oh shit!
Oh, there he is.
Frozen.
Jesus.
Moving?
And yet he's alive. You can hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. I'll just briefly say, and then I'll cut out. I have not seen the documentary. I think both of you guys would know pretty much where I stand on it, and I I I have emotions about that, about the way that it might be presented, it might not be presented. I think Jeremy could really relate to. It's frustrating to see like a story in a newspaper or in a docu-series or something that you covered firsthand. You knew the people that were there, you saw a lot of it unfold, and now you're going to watch the story to see how much they get right and how much they get wrong. And so I probably won't even watch it. Like, I know what happened, so I don't really need to watch it, I kind of feel. But thank you for letting me have my say, Tim. I appreciate it, and you guys have a great night.
Our pleasure.
You have
man.
a great night. Stay safe, Jack.
All
Keep
right,
the faith.
man.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
It is for him. He lives in Florida. He still needs to
Yeah,
stay safe no matter what happens.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, I'll give a 5-minute call. If anyone wants to come on and keep chatting, we can do so. But I'm pretty wiped out as it is from all this traveling, and I'm pretty bummed out because I thought tonight would be a more fruitful evening. So, yeah.
So you thought that we would get what, a lot more states for her this evening?
I thought that there would be some kind of surprise wave. Yeah, that we would see, like we were saying, Iowa we thought was gonna fucking maybe flip. You know, that poll came out.
You know what is different too this year is, like, I think Georgia, like, they changed up their system of doing stuff so that they could get more votes in one night. I don't know how many states have done that, but there are more states that are closed tonight, or that it's, at least we can project the winner than I think in 2020. So that's problematic.
That's the other part of it. In 2020, it was like they had way more mail-in ballots because of the fucking pandemic, and they fixed this, and people were really pissed off that it took until Saturday. So they were like, a lot of these states tightened up their system. So it's like a lot of people who were like, well, you never know, it's going to stretch out till like Thursday. It's like, no, I think they fixed that. So what we're seeing is the results. Like, we're not going to get a whole bunch of votes all of a sudden on Thursday. Like, I don't think that's possible. So that's where a lot of this despair comes from. So, I mean, right? Is that how you feel?
I don't want to admit that I feel despair yet, because I still want to live under the delusion that the mail-in votes count. I think I'm in cognitive dissonance between what I saw on TV earlier, which is these states have already counted their mail-in ballots, and people telling us, no, there are a lot of states that haven't counted mail-in ballots. So I'm going to put a pause in my despair. How about that? Till I learn further. But yes, I feel despair.
Yeah, and we'll just see. We'll just have to see what happens. I think. On that note. Well, thank you, Vaeni, for joining me on this epic adventure that has been the 2024. This is so dispiriting that we well, I don't want to. I shot Giles. I'll be honest. I fucking when I stepped away moments ago, it looked like I was getting a beer. I fucking actually just tranquilized him.
That's the smart thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. He may.
You know what it is? I know what it is. Like, so 2016, we were taken aback and we were shocked and it was awful. And looking back on it, it's funny because it made for good radio. And this is like, I think we even thought, because we talked about it a little bit, either we'll know tonight or we'll know in a couple of days, but we would get the sense tonight that what we would know in a couple of days is that she's going to win. And we have only the sense that he's winning.
Yeah. There's no indication that.
Yeah.
Each one still has a path to 270, but it was like the idea going into tonight was that she would have multiple paths. That it would be like she has an overwhelming thing. So,
well, I guess a congratulations is due to the racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, fascist Nazi party you did it. You screwed the libs. Like you got your wish.
Yeah.
Now
Vancouver got.
get ready to eat rocks for the rest of your lives, you fucking morons.
I know. It's yeah. It's Jeff. Yeah, Jeff is very Jeff. I can let Vaeni go if Jeff wants to jump in and shot till we at least over the hour, but I'll only give you like a minute to decide. So, Jeff Knox, I can send you the link. Otherwise, I think Vaeni
Downer
wants.
Fest.
Yeah.
Steve Long says Downer Fest 2024. Sorry, Steve.
Let me see. What do you say? This guy says, I've been wrong about every election since like 2008, so don't listen to me. Oh, well, thanks for.
Now you tell us.
No, and Jeff Knox says I would, but I'm eating right now. All right, well, that's fine, because I don't want to really talk about this anymore. So, on that note, for all the people who, this will probably be like the least listened to in all of America on the podcast feed, and maybe it'll be watched back by historians for comedic effect or something online. But yeah, for all the people who endured this fucking catastrophe with us, but first of all, I'll say if this turns out the way we didn't want it to happen, I guess congrats to the people who stopped listening to the show because I'm not a Trump fan. You're having a wonderful night, I'm sure. But for all the people who endured this catastrophe of an evening with us, but want more paranormal, we'll be back to doing paranormal very, very soon next week. So yeah, this is a once every 4 years, thank Christ, foray into election politics. Vaeni, before I let you go, what do you want to plug?
Tonight I will be eating my own liberal tears. Well, wherever you listen to podcasts, Our Undoing Radio is the feed where I have my Our Undoing Radio show and Paratopia reruns. And for Our Undoing Radio, I'm having a long-form, season-long, however long the season goes, chat with scientist, philosopher Tom Cheatham. So if that name rings a bell with anyone or not, either way, come listen, because if you've ever wanted to hear what it's like for like an experiencer of weird shit to talk to an actual philosopher scientist for, ever, we're having some fascinating conversations. Come listen in. Our Undoing Radio, wherever you get your podcasts. You're welcome.
This is a completely fucking different person than the other. Than this is. Look at this down here. Hiya, thanks for doing the show from Canada here. So what the fuck? Why is this show so popular? With the fuck, I'm telling you, all the Americans are like, I'm not listening to this shit. This is the fucking Hindenburg, and the Canadians are like, oh, Binnall and Vaeni, what are they all about? They're funny.
Well, SKIRL says, good night from Ireland. Rooting for you guys. So even Ireland's listening in.
Where the election night special is the preferred choice of people not in America. They're like, fuck, I want to hear these two fucking crazy Americans fucking deal with this shit. All right. So yeah, more paranormal next week on Binnall America. Thank you to people who endured this live stream. It'll be on the thing. And I guess thank you to Vaeni. And hopefully we'll be talking to you next month for the Christmas special.
Oh.
With Tyler Copejohn, if we can convince him to do it again. So,
all right. And
all right,
thank Jack Brewer.
Thank you, Jack Brewer. Yes, thank you to Jack Brewer. And we'll see y'all on the other side.
Peace. Love you, Tim.
Love you, buddy.